What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Now before we start this video, I want to tell you something. This is a two-part video and I'm not talking about one video here and one video there. No, these are two separate parts put together because the first one I filmed was a little bit short. It wasn't that interesting, so I delayed the upload, so you didn't have a video last week, but now you have. And now I'm gonna film the second part, a whole different kind of part. But first let's start with the first video, or the first footage that I filmed for last week's video that I didn't upload. So you're first gonna see that and then we're gonna switch over to the next one. What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are working back on the Fox, and that is all because I finally had time to cut the reinforcement pieces so we can weld it on to the whole plate that we are working on, where the exhaust mounts to, where the spring mounts to, where everything mounts to. We can now reinforce this. Now this is 3mm thick steel. It's gonna be a little bit hard to bend, but we're gonna have to make it work. We're gonna have to grind, shape, hammer, do all that good stuff to make our bracket reinforced and make it all nice and sturdy, because that is going to be very important. And when we complete that step, we can work on with mounting the exhaust from the exhaust itself to the cylinder head. So yeah, that is going to be a whole different job. Still got to find tubing for that. So what we're going to do, like we do like every single video, at least at these times, we're going to take that plate out, start welding and make it all nice and pretty. Make it all nice and sturdy, and then it's gonna be almost finished. I need to sandblast it, clear coat it, and then we can put it on permanently, so we don't need to take it off. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. Hopefully I can bend this metal the way I want it to, but we will see how it works out. If it works good, if it doesn't work good, yeah, we will see. Now let's get started with this day. Crack on with it and get it all over with so we can start on something new. I'm thinking about controls, maybe get the bike a little bit prepared for the first fire up, and then we can see what we are working with. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about today. Let's get into it. So the reinforcements are done on the bracket and I'm so happy it turned out okay. I'm not really happy with my work, but I will never be. I am a perfectionist, so I have to be satisfied with the work that I have done. But let me show you how it looks. So as you can see, not too much has changed. I just put a reinforcement all around these edges and all the way down here, so it is very nice and sturdy. This doesn't move at all. It moves the whole bike, but not the plate. I am happy with this. I am satisfied. This part is almost done. I still have to put on the foot pegs, but this whole bracket is done and we can focus on the exhaust. Now I have to get from this part right here all the way down to here, and I don't really have tubing, but I still have this piece, the old piece that came off the exhaust, and there is a little bit of a bend right here. So what I'm gonna do next week, I'm gonna cut this off and I'm gonna use this bend to make the gap between the cylinder head and the exhaust a little bit smaller. And also I'm gonna have to remove this to make a new connection because this is pretty sloppy. You're gonna see it and I don't want that. So we're gonna cut this off, re-weld it, do all that stuff, see what we can use from this pipe, how we can narrow the distance even more. Hopefully this goes smoothly. It is a very thin material, but yeah, we're gonna have to make it work, and hopefully I can get the right tubing to connect the whole piece, and then we can start the bike. Once we've done all the exhaust work, we can focus us on the electrics, and then we can start up the bike, see if it fires, see if it runs good. We're gonna have to attach the controls to see if we can rev the bike or not, and then we will hear the bike for the first time in a very long time, almost a year since this bike has turned. But that is how it goes with custom work, but I'm pretty happy about it. So after all that, we are here with the second day. As I told you, it was a little bit short and not that interesting. I didn't film that much, wasn't really in the mood of filming, but now here we are with the second part. And the second part we're gonna do, we're gonna extend the exhaust pipe. Let me get the part. We're gonna put this piece on the exhaust right there. As I explained in the last video, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut it, clean it up, put it on there, so we almost have a clear shot to the cylinder head. Of course, we're gonna have to remove this part that's here. I probably am gonna do that as well once I cut it. It's just easier like that, so I can clean it up and get it ready for welding. Then I'm gonna have to see how I'm gonna attach this bend right here to get a clearer shot to here, because this part is gonna be on the exhaust, this part is gonna be on the cylinder head. Yeah, it's a whole deal, but we're gonna start with it. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. Hopefully the video will turn out a little bit more interesting than the last one that I filmed, that you've seen in the beginning of the video, but yeah, we will see. So after all that welding and grinding, this is what we turned up with. One step closer to a running engine. Now as you can see, we still need to go from here to here, but for that we have these two pieces. This is what connects the pipe to the flange that we made in an earlier video. So now I'm gonna have to reattach this to this and put it over here. Now I can tweak it a little bit, and as you can see, we have a nice straight line to the exhaust. So I'm gonna need this piece of pipe to complete the engine, and then we can start up the bike. It is not that much, and we have a straight line, so I'm pretty happy with that. Of course, I'm gonna have to cut this a little bit at an angle so it sits a little bit like this, but that shouldn't be any problem. I don't think it's gonna be, because the flange itself has its own thickness, and so we can play with it a little bit. Of course, we can still tilt the exhaust a little bit downwards or upwards if needed, and we can also grind it. So not really a big issue, but as you can see, it lines up pretty good, and I'm happy about that. So now, because this was a two-part video, we have the reinforcement of this bracket right here, the welding of the exhaust to get us one step closer to a running engine. So I'm pretty happy with the progress that we did. It took us 2 filming days, but I'm happy. So the plans for next week are gonna be, a little bit tricky. Don't know really what I'm gonna do. I might try to work on the controls, see what brake system I can figure out, because we also have to do that. Maybe start on the ignition system. So once we have the pipe to connect the 2 pieces of the exhaust together, we can fire it up immediately, and we don't have to wait for me to do the electrical stuff. And then we can hear the bike running for the very first time in a very, very long time. So that is gonna be it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you're not already subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.